Mark, Bradley,
Here.
myself, Ashley, Steve, Larry, and Brad are here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the audience. This time, we'll do the invocation with Alicia, and I'll do the pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this day you've given each and every one of us here tonight, Lord. I just thank you for all your blessings and ask that you let us all get home tonight, Lord. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Do we have any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to item number 4, discuss and approve the following meeting minutes. January the 2nd, 2024, regular meeting minutes.
Motion to approve January 2nd minutes.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Alicia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, item number 5, discuss and or approve paying invoice 87,587 from Cenarion in the amount of $95 from the ARPA funds.
Motion to approve.
You want to discuss it, Ashley?
No.
Okay, motion by Alicia, seconded by Brad. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6, discuss and approve paying invoice 1977 from Aclarion in the amount of $600 from the ARPA funds.
Motion to pay invoice 1977.
Motion by Jake,
Second.
seconded by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Approval of Department of Commerce DOC grant agreement HL 207 in the amount of $200,000 for feasibility study, related to City Hall improvements.
During the last legislative session, this grant was awarded from the state. It resilient hardening improvements that need to be made to City Hall, developing additional space for records and storage, and also to provide it for safe and secure locations for the citizens to pay their utility bills. So like I said, this is the grant agreement. Once we execute tonight, it'll go back to the state for final execution, and then after that, it will be available for use. Like I said, this was awarded in last year's legislative session.
But is it a feasibility study or to go ahead and do it?
To look at what hardening improvements they can do to this building, because there's some work you may not be able to do. It's based on the structure of the building. So they're looking at hardening improvements. Part of that will be we would like to get generators in, an on-site generator installed so that you can operate during anytime that we lose power, anytime any kind of emergency that happens. And we also, like I said, we do need to come up with at least some storage space and things like that. And then we probably need to do some ADA improvements for the building too, since there's more stringent ADA requirements coming down the line. So part of that's going to be to see what we do to improve the.
And it takes $200,000 to do all that, to do this.
I'm afraid that doing the study will end up along with a good part of that. So hopefully we're going to carve out as much as we can to do actual work.
When you say a study, are they going to send somebody down here, like a building inspector, to look over the building, or?
We'll probably give a contract to CAS to have them come in and design of the building and come up with a plan about what we can do to harden the building, what we can do to provide the electrical part of it, and then also what space can we do within the current structure to come up with more storage or anything like that. So, but so like I said, well, I said, well, they'll probably send someone in to
And
come up with a design and plan.
it's up to us to, like you just said, to recommend the generator.
Yeah.
The store, we put a wish list together.
We're gonna
Yeah.
do
What to do? Yeah.
I would hope so.
And, okay, yeah, I mean, I know about this, we've done it, I don't know, getting CA, Craig A. Smith involved in the plans for the building, letting them get me that $200,000, whatever it's there, but I make a motion.
Okay, motion by Jake.
Second.
Okay, motion by Jake to approve the Department of Commerce grant agreement, HL 207, in the amount of $200,000 for a feasibility study related to City Hall improvements. It was seconded by Alicia. All in favor?
All right.
Is there any discussion?
Did you have anything else on it, Larry? I cut you off. I'm
No.
sorry.
Okay, any discussion?
No, sir.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, item 8, discussion of proposed changes to the personnel rules and regulations, chapter 2.1D, license requirements. Mr. Tibbs.
I know, last year we had, brought this forward, last year to look at. We have, particularly in certain areas like in particularly in Parks and Recreation, we're having a hard time again keeping people. We get them in, they're back out the door kind of thing. So, recently we've had a few people, that seem to be good candidates, but they did not have a driver's license. So I was, again, suggesting we amend that, what's in the personnel rules and regulation, that if for any vehicle that requires its license and required to be licensed, that individual has to be filling that position, has to have a valid driver's license or a chauffeur's license as appropriate. However, for those positions where they're going to operate equipment that doesn't require state licenses, like gators, golf carts, mowers, side-by-sides, they shall not require a license, but they cannot operate any vehicles or equipment that requires a license. That, I think, Brad, if you want to say anything on this.
That would just alleviate some of the problems that we're having hiring people. There are, like Mr. Tibbs
I don't know
said,
if they can operate a gator without a license.
We all look that way.
Can you operate a John Deere Gator without a license?
With the new law,
Yeah.
Our ordinance says without it.
I have to double check. Give me a minute, I'll answer you.
Okay.
You run a lawnmower.
How many mowers we got now?
Right now, we've got 3
You know what we had in 2005?
employees, what I'm talking about.
You know how many employees on mowers we had in 2005?
I had no idea.
3. Yeah, we just got to get a new employee there.
Yeah, they've been doing something else.
See, the thing is, the Gator is considered different than like a
Side by
UTV or
side.
four-wheeler or anything like that. It's in this different standing.
Utility.
It's
More like a golf cart.
So, it is the Gator is, it's got a different definition under Florida statute than a golf cart, than a side-by-side, a four-wheeler, and stuff like that. It's actually got a different definition under it. I just went through this because of the side-by-side and four-wheelers.
I believe it's the
But with the
utility.
new law
vehicle
changes,
side of
what I
it,
gotta
so it's,
figure out, how they list it.
Well, the license now, does it say, wait a minute, shall be established by any employee upon demand? I think, didn't last time we did this, about 2 years ago, didn't, there was some verbiage there that,
I don't think it was approved before.
Yeah.
That's
They
nothing
can
changed.
drive
That's from,
the, you know, like
2014.
your
they can drive the
Tractors,
mower, they can drive the
mowers.
tractor.
heavy, the equipment.
But
They can ride the garbage truck,
Right.
they can run the weed eaters and the lawnmowers.
But-
Get 'em on a garbage truck.
But to do that, you have to drive, you have to have, to do what you just said, you have to have a driver's license.
To run the lawnmower? No, I'm
I
sorry.
I know what you're saying. So to ride on the back of the garbage truck, you have to have a driver's license.
Currently.
At this point in our policy.
Thank you. That's the question I'm asking.
My bad. I was like, you gotta have a driver's license to ride the back?
Well, you
No.
know,
The way our
I was
policy
like, I know
the way our
states,
policy reads now.
to work
But
for the
there's-
city of
there's-
Moorhaven, you
is
have
to-
to have
to
a
Brad-
valid license.
To Brad's point, I think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. The way the turnover is constantly, with the ground maintenance workers. There's plenty of work to be done that doesn't require you to have a Florida driver's license in the city of Moorhaven. And I did that, I haven't changed my stance on it, from when I brought it up last year or the year before.
So let me ask you this, if they don't have a driver's license, how are they gonna get to work?
That's for them to figure out.
How are they gonna cover call? We're gonna have the same people for 15 years on
We
call?
have the same people now they always want
No,
some
we
quick
don't.
call.
We got people doing parks and docks that are different. I'm just worried about the type of person that doesn't have a driver's license and how many of them are gonna come in here.
So you're a bad person if you don't have a driver's license?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm worried about the type of person we possibly can get without a driver's license.
We're still
And how many are
gonna
gonna come in here and work 2 months and leave
That's what we still have that.
because of the responsibility?
We're still gonna do the background and the road test. That's,
I understand that. And my position hasn't changed on it.
It can't hurt any more than what we've got
It
going
just
on.
gives you a few more people.
People to choose from. That's right.
The pool is shallow.
yes.
So basically, if this was to be passed, you guys can police it to where there wouldn't be an issue where somebody would have to be in a position where they're forced to drive, but yet they don't have a license.
Yes. We could not allow them to drive.
So you can internally police it.
And right now, in the same way it was in 2003, when we had 3 people driving lawnmowers, now we've got 5 people driving lawnmowers, but they drive them from the barn to all over town, wherever the workspace is at.
Yeah,
So
what's your point?
in our
Same amount of
policy,
grass to cut, right?
I don't know. Is it?
so in our policy to ride a side by side, city ordinance, is it to be 18 or over and have a driver's license? Isn't that the policy, the ordinance,
It's in the ordinance.
To drive the golf cart, yes.
or a side by side? Am I right?
You are.
So what we're basically thinking about here is we're gonna tell our employees, you don't have to have a driver's license. But at the same time, we're gonna turn around and tell our residents, you gotta have a driver's license. And
18 or.
And in a way, you're putting Brad in a position, whereas Brad has to police. Joe, can I use you for an example, buddy? Joe Rouse is down there working on a backhoe, but he needs a part from the warehouse. But John Doe's sitting there, go get it. Oh, I can't, buddy, because I don't have a driver's license. So you're putting Brad in a position now he has to pick and choose jobs a little more.
Does the ordinance say 18 or a valid driver's license?
Pretty sure.
So that would mean as long as you're 18, you don't have to have a driver's license and you can still run equipment without a driver's license in the city,
Scroll down.
correct?
And also, Clay, to what you were saying to me, that's not for me or you to worry about. Brad's brought that by bringing this to us now. Brad's put those decision making on himself, added it to his plate. There are in cities and counties where they run this type of equipment
The ordinance doesn't say,
to maintain.
what, doesn't say that. I mean, it just says, as you can read, if they're 16,
Right there,
they're under
line A,
16.
any person under the age of 16 may not drive or operate a golf cart or utility vehicle on any city street unless accompanied by a person who possesses a valid driver's license.
Right. So it wouldn't be applicable to the scenarios that you guys are discussing.
Now, what's the liability on somebody having an accident at a stop sign or something with no driver's license?
The same if they have driver's
Yeah,
license right now.
It's exactly the same.
They're on a city vehicle, city-owned
So
piece of
it's not
equipment, so you got the same
Yeah.
liability you would have.
Just, but the fact that you don't have a license doesn't really lend to whether or not you were negligent.
Throw a charge on
If you're negligent, you're negligent, whether you had a license or
you.
not.
I understand what you're saying, Mr. Brown, Mr. Decker. I know where you sit on it. And I'm gonna say again, I believe the advantages, outweigh the disadvantages. I'm glad to see that you guys have brought it back up. Well, I guess I'm not glad because that means you're low on employees and you're reaching and scratching like we once did before. And this doesn't say that every employee we're gonna hire for here on out doesn't have a driver's license, or, you know, hey, you don't have to have a driver's license, come work here, come fill out your application. But that one guy might walk in here that unfortunately fell on hard times, doesn't have a driver's license, but he can ride a bicycle to the shop and get on the back of the garbage truck or go, you know, mow yards. I don't have a problem with this. Like I said, it. We need a motion. Is that what you're asking for, Mr. Mooney?
Well, I mean, it's an agenda item, so if somebody makes a motion second, then we can go from there.
Let me get back up here. I want to read the motion correctly.
That's not it.
Number 8.
Way down on page 38. Down there, so we gotta go all the way back.
Whoa. I was reading that.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were done. I was taking it away.
My motion is to accept the proposed changes that Larry's put forth and make the personnel rule and regulation changes in chapter 2.1 of the driver's license requirement
Second.
and see how it works.
Motion by Jay to accept Larry's recommendation. Second by Alicia. Any discussion? Steve, what's your recommendation here?
I don't have any recommendation pro or con. I understand if you're an employee crunch where you're coming from, as long as our personnel and supervisors feel secure that they can monitor those employees, prospective employees who do not have a license, that they're not driving a vehicle that would require a license, then I would defer to them. So.
Have you had a bad experience of anything like this in the past?
Well,
a city
Without a
entity,
license.
a city entity hiring somebody without a driver's license?
No, not from that
No.
perspective.
No case on it. And they're going through the same hiring process, whether they had a driver's license or not. I don't have any further discussion.
I guess you're waiting on me.
I got a motion in a second.
I know, I'm thinking. Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Motion fails. But I'd like to comment, I'd like to be able to read, to look at, I'd like to take some time to research this a little more. So,
For now, it fails. I mean, if somebody, like any other agenda item, you could always bring it back
okay,
on the agenda. So.
okay.
Will you be sure, Mark? Don't you be stopping the lawn people, the garbage people, and asking them why they're not getting something done. Because the reason they're not getting it done is because they don't have the
Yeah,
employees.
we're not gonna start
The
arguing.
reason
Hold
they're
it.
not getting it done is they don't have the employees. The man
One.
just sat right there and told you.
We're not gonna sit and argue over it. I'm the one that broke the tie. I'll take responsibility for it.
You're not one stopping employees, telling them they're not doing their job. You don't do that.
Jake,
He does.
Jake,
No, I don't.
Yes, you
hold
do.
on. We're not doing this, guys. We're not doing this.
Move on then.
We're professional. We're not acting like this. Item number 9, discuss approval, disposal of vehicles and equipment.
I'd like to move this to the next meeting. We didn't have time to get all the information assembled that I need to bring back to you. But Brad does have one item in this category that he would like to discuss.
The county has approached me about buying the older bucket truck that we have, the older Ford. Not to put back in electrical service, but they need it to for the courthouse.
Sure.
Do whatever they need to do with it.
Why not?
I don't know if that needs to go, what process that needs to go through, but they are.
When you sell, when they want to buy it from us, like for $1, for,
Well, I think we probably need to go online and look,
at the book value.
yeah, well, if I can find it, or if there's other auctions where they've been sold, to see if we can come up with a fair market value on it. I mean, like I said, it can't be certified, so it's not, you can't use it in the originally purchased for, but we could probably find some kind of value, what would be a market value for that truck and with the mileage and condition it's in.
What do they want, or you know, Brad?
Just sit there.
For doing the courthouse, pressure washing the
Trimming
windows,
trees.
hanging their Christmas lights, they do stuff all around the county doing stuff.
Have they got anything we can trade
I was
for?
about to say the same thing.
That's what we need to look
They
at.
asked me to come look, but nothing that they told me. I'll go look, but nothing that they brought to my attention though. Was anything we needed.
They got you on the B list, not the A list.
If you don't mind, Brad, go see if there's anything we might want to trade. And
And also take into consideration that we work hand in hand with the county.
Yeah. I mean, that was my theory on it. If we have to, just for that, we let them borrow it. It ain't, if they've got something we want.
If they're gonna use it that extensively, I would prefer that it changed ownership.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, maybe they have something to trade and we're flexible as far as surplus property.
All right. Item 10, Larry, I'm gonna let you just read the whole thing since there's been some changes.
We have, in the 2023-24 budget, we had approved to buy garbage cans, and those that have been ordered during in process. In addition, there in the budget was included for 2 cart tippers to install in back of the garbage truck. We did, reach out and try to get some quotes on installation of those cart tippers. I did try contacting the manufacturers direct to myself, but they will not sell. They only sell through a dealer. They will not, as looking for any kind of contract, we can purchase them, under like a piggyback contract. I think they will not. You have to go through the delivery. So we have obtained a quote from Southern Sewer for in the amount of $16,839.82. They are a dealer. We also got a quote from Mike's Hydraulic, and the quote for one there is $12,858.51 because he is not a dealer, and so they would have to purchase from a dealer to install. And then at the end of last week, we were trying to get a third quote, and from the writers talking to the vendor, and at that time when we went to press with the agenda, it sounded like Southern Sewer was going to be the cheapest quote. However, and that's the way I worded the motion that the words done that was pending, but, receiving that last quote, and that came in today, and that total quote is for 11/9/15/48. I laid a copy there at the desk. Did you want to write more back?
Quote there from EPG, they build a bumper that goes on the back of the truck, then the cart tipper's going, so the truck will still have the ability to do both. The two, if we put it on the, from the other places there, you lose that ability.
So the EPG is the better one of the,
Yeah.
We don't want to, a truck breaks down, we still got
That's
to
who we
empty dumpsters.
purchased the plow truck from, so they're anxious to do business.
It's like they're not gonna lose the ability to.
At the time when we did the agenda, we did not have a firm number from them, so, and we, from discussions, it sounded like it was gonna be more expensive, but as of today, they came in with a pretty good deal.
okay.
Motion to go with Mr. Tibbs' recommendation.
But motion by Jake to accept EPG as the quote for the garbage truck.
Second.
Second by Brad. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 5-0. Unanimous. Okay, report of officers. City manager.
When we were finishing the sewer projects, so 5A and 5C, there was some identified lots that did not get sewer. There was a total, I think, of 36 units that were either missed. Some of them were in there, some of them were not. We did get awarded $1,250,000 through the Rural Infrastructure Fund that was announced last week. So like I said, that will be coming down the road. Once we get a grant agreement, we'll be able to proceed on with that. But like I said, we did get the funding. The governor announced last week that he released like $30 million in different projects, and like I said, that $1,250,000 was our grant project was included in there. So hopefully, like I said, allow us to go back and clean up. You know, we have several there on Railroad Avenues spots and some other places. I think there's a total of 36 that was included in that. So we'll be able to do that. Like I said, the legislative session started last week. Both our projects, the automated water meters and the what was our other project?
Was it the seawall?
Seawall.
The seawall
They're
are
both
both in the Senate and House packages, so they've been registered, so we'll see how it goes through the session.
And they're both in there, so that's good.
I don't think.
I think that's it, unless someone has anything.
Okay. Anybody got anything for Larry?
Not this time.
Okay. Thank you, Larry. City attorney.
On the swap of the church, when we went back and we looked at the how the church held title to their lots, there was a I don't know if I'll call it a scrivener's error, but the attorney who prepared the deed from the person who donated the lots to the church did not put the church's full legal entity name. We got in contact with the church to see if it was solvable that through them, but unfortunately the person who deeded it to them, I think, lives in Ohio or somewhere. So we've sent a corrective deed to that person to clean up that. So this way, when we do the swap, because otherwise, especially that it's contemplated that we would use these lots to sell to people who want to develop home sites, and obviously they're going to be getting financing or title insurance. It would turn out to be a problem at this point, so I'm trying to correct that. So I'll keep you posted on that. Code enforcement, we have the continuation of the Baez code enforcement hearing next Tuesday. Can keep you posted on that. And there's one other thing, but I can't think of it right now. That'll come to me. I'll bring it up. I think.
So the only thing with the swap with the church is just they sign a paper.
Yeah, cleaning up the Scrivener's errors. So.
Okay.
So we're trying to find the person who was the grantor on that deed, because apparently that person donated those lots to the church. But the church is technically a corporation, and the verbiage for the church was as being a corporate status was not on that deed. So I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Should be solvable. So.
Anybody got anything for Steve? Okay, city clerk.
I don't have anything.
Anybody have anything for Ashley? Craig A. Smith, CAS Governmental Service. Bradley?
I don't have a whole lot. I think in the past, y'all have used Osmos to do pole inspection in the city. And we need to entertain the idea of getting them back in here and doing some, at least on the main line. We did get somebody hired to help King, and he's doing good. I think we made a good decision there, and he can do some of the work. Some of the work on these bigger junction poles and stuff, we have to do some contract work on. I found a few poles, and Bill found a bunch that they need changed up. So,
He had a list years ago, I remember, but I have no objection to hiring somebody.
you know, they come through, they're familiar with them when they go up. And they do their inspection, and then you kind of make a list and prioritize.
They they tell you which ones are now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
I think we need to.
We don't need to bid that, do we? Okay.
Also another project that's gonna be coming up is the lead line, distribution lines going to people's houses. That's gonna be a pretty big deal, so I'll have a little more information on that. I've got it, I didn't bring it with me, but that's something that's gonna be pretty important that we have somebody come in and do, and there's a funding for it. It depends on how many people, residents you have and all that stuff, so.
That falls on the home, from the pole to the meter. Is that the homeowner's responsibility?
This
for
is
that
on the water
line?
distribution side, I'm talking about lead line on water distribution.
Oh, okay.
That has to be done, so.
Did you ever get them guys a pump, Brad?
We have a pump, but we're gonna.
I know you have a little one, but did you
I've
ever
got
get a
some.
new one?
I got an older 3-inch that does work. We had to order a new one.
So they haven't gotten a new.
New. We have an older 3-inch that does work.
Will that suffice, or do you think they should have a bigger one?
We should have a new one that works.
I think you should buy
100%
one.
of the time.
I think we discussed that a month or two ago.
That one, sometimes it works, but sometimes you gotta give it a little adjustment before it starts.
Buy a new one. You gotta have it.
Brad, just for giggles and wiggles, did we ever get a deal with Blades Electric or Pike to help?
Wade Electric said they would help us
If need be.
if need be.
Okay.
And they would charge accordingly, and depending on what they had down on their system. Mike said no, they wouldn't.
I just want to make sure.
Thing, and the new company that's out here now, I've talked to them 2 or 3 times, and they never got back with me.
Okay. Well, I mean, we got a couple months until summer. I just want to be able to help King if we need to get him some help. So. All right. Anybody got anything for Brad? Okay. Approval of the bills in the amount of $69,248.42.
Motion to approve the bills.
Motion by Jake,
Second.
Under question.
second by Alicia. Mark,
Yes, sir.
yes. Under discussion.
Your windshield for our tractor, a big one, what happened?
I had a crack in it already, and then the limb hit it.
Got it in a limb or what?
Yeah, limb hit it.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Citizens' comments, general concerns, speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Anybody got anything? Okay, thank y'all for coming. Mayor and council will give reports. Mr. Agner,
I have nothing.
okay. Ms. Beck,
None at this time.
Mr. Decker,
Yeah, I'd like to know why the gate up there where all the gravel and big piles of dirt is just left over all weekend. I think we have a little liability to keep those gates closed and locked. I don't know why it's been open all weekend, but it definitely was.
Oh, they probably forgot to go by there Friday.
Nobody else can lock it on Saturday? We got guys running around with pickup trucks,
Walk
over there and check
it.
out the
Walk
park.
over there and lock it.
No lock on it.
hold it.
Okay, give him a lock, so next time you
No.
drive by, you put a lock on it.
Too damn old.
Don't point your finger at me.
Hold,
I'm gonna tell
buddy.
you that right now.
I'm stopping you from,
You ain't stopping me from anything.
you wanna go?
Go where?
You wanna go outside?
For
Well,
what?
that's really professional.
Go outside for what?
No, I'm not taking it the way he's meaning it.
Walk up there and close it.
Get a lock on it.
There's no lock on it.
Well, you
Come on, guys,
We're gonna
really?
close it. Your piece of wire?
arms and your
Well,
legs.
not my
Don't
job to
break
do.
it, don't break
Go
it.
get a lock.
Brad,
I'm good. Nothing here.
I'm good. Item 15,
Motion to adjourn.
motion by Alicia,
Second.
second by Brad, adjourned.